لك مخكي شيك كمان لا تاسو this is large شيء أخوان تمزد this is large شيء لا نجور خداي باقا لا نجور كده دقا خارج لا مخكي جور كي لا نجور يا لك
So flight has just arrived. Here, thousands on the tarmac, and they're all making a run for the airplane right now. It's going to be a mess. A lot of guys are really eager to get on this flight. Everybody's really eager to get out of Kandahar. People are packing on here. Hundreds of these guys are scrubbing together. It's hard to get on. Hey, we're trying to get on that.
Not over aircraft.
So we just landed in Kandahar. This is the center of the city. The shops are open, people are out, it's busy all around. You wouldn't know that just maybe half a mile away is the front line. This city is under siege. They are surrounded on all sides from the Taliban.
Kandahar is the spiritual capital of the Taliban. It was here that the movement began in the early 90s, and it was the last major city under their control before the Americans rooted them out 20 years ago. Now, they're fighting to take it back. We came here to see the fight, and what we found was a struggling and battered Afghan military, abandoned by the Americans and facing what would become the final battle in the Taliban's sweeping takeover of Afghanistan.
همیشه د افغانستان حکومت له کندهار نه سقوط کړی ده او په دې خاطر دشمن ډیر کوشش په کندهار باندې ده چې دوی کندهار ونیسي دوی دې فکر کوي چې موږ ټول افغانستان نیولی ده.
Commander Sarbalan leads nearly 200 of the most elite American-trained soldiers in the country, the Commandos. Now he's facing his toughest fight yet. We followed him and his soldiers on the front lines.
Right here, we're on the roof of a wedding hall. This is the front position. There's snipers, so we gotta stay low. So just there is the Taliban flag. You can see it. They're in control of those mountains and a little bit behind us too.
غسار نه ده اخیری هغه چې د آسیابان از زنګو نه ده هلته مې پرسنل
دا زنګو قسمترانو به کې
چې پکې زنګلې
ورخوش یې کړه نه
We're headed to the Don district, to another front line. This front line is important because it splits the Taliban-controlled area with the airport. So it's really the most essential part of the fighting here. So these guys are taking us right on the edge of the fighting. If they just be on the wall here, they're laying down suppressing fire against snipers. So where are the enemies from here?
So the enemy is surrounding us from three sides. There are sniper men He's sitting over there and he's just looking at us. If we move, so we will shoot.
So what can you do?
We hope we are keeping our finger crossed.
The men here are tired, undersupplied, and low on food. With just a few commandos mixed amongst a ragtag group of ill-trained police and soldiers, they're barely holding on.
سه کچیرته اوس منګه دغه پرسونل دلته اوس په دغه حوزه کې یو 20 نفر دي که دې نه منګه 15 نفر ته رخصت ورکړو د حوزه سقوط ده سه باید موږ ته لازم هغه امکانات نشته د منګه حمایه هوایي حمایه ډېره کمه ده نو دغه څه مشکلات شته دي چې دغه خلانه دشمن کوشش کوي چې مخکې راسي.
Does it feel like the lack of support from the Americans and the American drawdown has allowed the Taliban to surge forward in this fight?
یعنی په داسې یو ځای کې پرېښودلو هغه د ساحل غاړې ته یې پرېښودلو سم داسې یو معمولي ډیکر راته څوک راکړي او بس وطن نه ونیسي او معامله خلاصه.
In the past month, hundreds of security forces have been injured or killed, and hospitals are filling to capacity.
So this is the ICU of the hospital here. They're saying they got 55 new patients yesterday, and it's really busy now. So who are these patients here?
They are all soldiers, yeah. This patient have brain penetrating injuries. This patient have face injuries and skull injuries. So in war, everything is coming like ID blast. We had abdominal penetrating injuries. We had traumatic amputations. We have not enough materials, enough instruments. And our surgery is not the base of Afghanistan.
This place is really a good place to understand just how bad the war is going. These soldiers are young. There's so many of them with gunshot wounds, bomb blasts. You can just see how low the morale is for so many of them. And as this fighting continues here, they're saying that it's not going to be going well.
این زخمی که شدیم داخل تانک بودیم نشانزنی میکردیم که سر ما زیاد فایر شد سلاح ثقیله کار گرفت راکت است جای پای ما برد استخوان پنجه کلان ما میده کرده راکت زد و دیگه زیادتر نشده دو زد.
Does it feel like last night that the Taliban overpowered you?
اما چی بود؟ حال نفر ما هم کم بود نفر هم نداشتیم در تانک 4 نفر بودیم. طالبا قوی نبود ما کمتر بودیم ما بیشتر بود سر ما هیچ وقت قندار سقوط دادن نمیتونه.
Tonight, the commandos are headed deep behind Taliban lines. This is their last chance to outflank the Taliban and change the momentum of the fight.
It's completely pitch black. They're saying that the Taliban has night vision capabilities, can see them, and has better weapons than them. So really, the fight is uneven in favor of the Taliban. With me? Yeah.
موږ پر دشمن باندې دلته اوس په حاله د دشمن سره په خط اول کې دشمن باندې ټاک نو کله چې دشمن انداخت وکي موږ مقابل جواب ورکو یو ډیره حیاتي ستراتیژیکه نقطه ده کچيري موږ په دې نقطه کې دشمن سره مقاومت ونکو بیا موږ میدان یوي او کندهار ښار د لاس ورکو.
They're saying that these guys are the Taliban firing on us here, so we're good behind these walls, but it sounds like they're all around us.
ډیرې پیشرفته سرای په حال دشمن لري اقل چې دشمن میل پورته کی که دشمن میل پورته کی دشمن انداخ وکي هغه خطا نه ځي.
So they're going to show us the firing line now. Stay low.
همدغه ساحې ولا هغه د خوا دشمن دی مکمل د باغو سره هغه باغونه ولا مکمل هغه ځکه دشمن دی.
This is really dangerous night operations that they do. They push the Taliban back at night and trying to fire on them back. This 50 cal is their main gun.
دا خورست خسر مو پورته کوي شي. نو ته توجه وسه چې دا خاصه کوم دغه رانس. هغه هغه بس هغه ته متوجه اوسه هغه ته متوجه اوسه دغه ځکه سر پورته کوي او نور همیان سره خبروم راځي چې موږ
Can you repeat? All right, they're telling us we got to get out of here now. Let's go. Let's go. Go, go, go.
Go, go.
The Taliban launches a counteroffensive, overpowers the government lines, and moves into the city. At lightning speed, they take over district by district.
Alhamdulillah, da banjana ورسدم ما شاء الله ما شاء الله بخير راسي بخير راسي بخير راسي الله دې راضي سي دا ټول بنجان بخير اوتله ټول بنجان بخير اوتله ما بس کار خلاص چې دا څنګه جنو رسیدلی د شکافر دروازې پورې نو دا رقم دا صحیح ټول نیولې چې یو تعداد پوسټ فتح شوی چې دشمن په تیښته دی.
We just got word that in the middle of the city, there's gunfights. We're about 12 miles away on the military air base, and we're relatively safe. But in the center of the city, our local contact is there, and we're going to call him and talk to him about what's going on. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
So what is the current situation there in Kandahar?
Yes, the current situation in Kandahar city is getting worse. If you go out of the house, there are like 50s or 40s Taliban in every street. And they have escaped from their police stations. And they left the police stations for the Taliban. Taliban have advanced so fast. We are so worried. We are inside the house. We don't go out of the house. Allah knows what will happen. God knows what will happen.
On August 13th, the fighting finished. The Afghans have lost. They gave up the city and cut a deal with the Taliban, surrendering millions of dollars of heavy weaponry and Humvees in exchange for safe passage on government flights.
Our leaders had negotiation with the Taliban to abandon the city, so that's why we don't have civilian casualties in the city. I think it's time now to pull my forces back, because I can't sacrifice my man for no reason. We have the ability, we have the strength, but the problem is we don't have unity, we don't have competence.
What does it feel like after 20 years of fighting to be leaving now, to be giving up the city here?
The security forces that we sacrificed in last 20 years, there was no feelings for them, for their families. We have lost many men here. They had kids, many women got widow, many kids got orphan. Our leaders, they don't care. All of their kids were in safe haven. Today it's Kandahar. Yesterday it was other province, Ghazni, Herat, all this is going to get to Kabul.
دا شل کاله جنگ خو دا جنگ خاص نه حقه جنگ داسې په موږ باندې راتپلی ده او د ښار ټولې کوڅې جوړې وې پلونه یې جوړول مکتبونه یې جوړول کلینیکونه یې جوړول تاسیسات دولتي جوړول هغه بیرته خراب سول ټول ګډ وډ سو ختم سو بیرته جینا ټول داسې یو وحشت پکې و.
We joined the soldiers as they were being evacuated.
There are literally thousands of soldiers here, packing onto the tarmac, all trying to get out of Kandahar. This is incredible.
After missing the first flight, we waited anxiously amongst the many units, everyone nervously hoping for a way out. As they packed the plane, the soldiers hoped for redemption and battles to come. But in 24 hours, the Taliban will sweep the capital, the Afghan government will collapse, And these soldiers will join the millions of Afghans living in fear of whatever comes next.